YouTube, Blue Matona here with a brand new video for you. I'm going to be playing City Skylines. It's a game I play a ton on my own. I've been playing it for years, honestly, ever since the huge disappointment of, what was it, SimCity 5? You know, whatever that one that came out in like 2013, 2012 was. City Skylines has been my city builder game of choice, and, you know, I've always loved it. I've always loved city builders, and I think this game is pretty amazing. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. This is a pretty heavily modded version of City Skylines. I do have many mods active, and I will be linking those down below in a collection for you to check out. But I think what's most important is that you'll notice I'm playing with, you know, the standard mods if you're familiar with the game, like Move It and Find Road Anarchy, and kind of the essentials. But also I have life cycle rebalanced. So basically one house is going to be one family instead of housing 3 or 4 families, and a tall towering apartment building is going to house 100 families, for example, as opposed to just 9 or 10, and so on. I think it makes the game much better. I think it makes it so that you have more of a, what's the right word to describe it? More of like a quiet suburbs and very busy, dense city center, which I think is just fun for the simulation aspect for me. What it does mean is at the beginning it can be a little bit of a slog to get through the initial portion of the game, when you do have to kind of end up with a little bit of like suburban sprawl when you hit your population milestones. But anyway, let's jump right in. The map is called Little River. It is a map made by a YouTuber I'm a big fan of, Yumble TV, I believe is the name of his channel. And he took the, I forgot what the original map was called, but it's a map from the base game of City Skylines. And he basically took it, and he took out the highways, which I love, because this is actually something that I've done myself when I've played this game, is I have, this is where one of the highways would be, for example. In the base game. If you've ever played this, you know that all the maps start with highways. And I've actually gone through and done this myself, never to the quality and perfection and markings and everything that Yumble has. And he's outstanding at the game, obviously. But it is something I love, because I don't think it makes sense to start a city with a huge highway. So I'll give a link to the video where he describes, he has a video where he describes making this map and preparing it for the game, etc., and what changes he made. And I'll link that, but just a quick overview. You know what? Just for the overview portion, so switch it back to daytime. I prefer to keep it in daytime, so I'll let it go to night once the city gets kind of built, and, you can enjoy the lights and how it looks at night and whatnot. But I think during the, initial stages, at least, being in the daytime makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so basically where the highways would typically go, Yumble has replaced it with a 2-lane national road ring road. So you can see that here. This road, it's basically, it comes all through here, tunnel that way, up around this space, and basically makes one giant loop around the map. And there we are back at the starting point in that big intersection we were just looking at. And the way Yumble has it set up is that this road has a very, much higher speed limit than the more interior roads. Like, this would be the building space. Actually, I think this would be the starting tile right here. If you were to be playing this, legitimately, I used the 81 tiles mod to unlock the entire map. But this is the starting tile here. So you can see there's no cars on these roads. So the only cars that are going to come in here are the cars that are coming because, I built something on this land. Factories, residential, commercial, whatever it might be. Otherwise, they're going to basically use this as if it's a highway, but it's a smaller 1-lane road. And then over time, as our city grows and develops, we will also have to upgrade the roads, which I think is pretty cool. And, we'll introduce highways at some point, etc. I think it's a very cool setup. I'm a big fan. You can see this is, there's some exterior connection roads, and then you have this, anyway, yeah. So, long story short, here's kind of the overview of the map. You have a lot of this farmland space built in. You also have this side of the river tends to be very mountainous. You have kind of a valley in the middle here with a nice big lake, and you can see there's the roads coming through here, so this is definitely, developable land. It could be kind of like the suburbs. The way I sort of view this is you almost have, this is your suburban center, this right here is kind of your urban center in here, and then you have farmlands and industry around the outskirts here. Maybe this stretch right here could be an industrial section, kind of between the river and the mountains, sort of sectioned off from the rest of the city, right? Like you could have some ports here for the cargo shipping. You could hook up rail lines and connect it to the rail over here. Anyway, there's a lot of options. This could be like a Manhattan-esque type island. I just think that there's a lot of possibilities, and it's fun. And so, like any City Skylines game, we will start off by making a road. And we're just going to go ahead and I'm just going to make a 1-unit road. Just to, once you make, if you've played this game, once you make a road, you unlock a bunch of different options for yourself. Namely, you unlock zoning, water and power here, and you can basically get your city going. Just quickly, at the start here, I will turn down my sliders. Another thing, I am using the no power lines and no water pipes mods, so while I obviously still have to provide those services, I don't have to worry about connecting up with power lines and connecting up with pipes underground. I find the power lines thing I could reintroduce. I actually think in some circumstances it could be nice to have power lines, running. Looks a little bit more like real life, and then, you take those out as the city grows and connects, but the water pipes have always just bothered me. I just find it to be a tedious, kind of unnecessary portion of the game. So I don't really worry about it. So let's go ahead and get started. So this I see as being sort of the core of the city. But it doesn't have to start that way, right? So we can actually begin this game, if we want to, by kind of making this like a small town. Maybe the core of the city is going to be through this stretch here, and this is sort of the start of more of a suburban section. Or maybe it grows and it becomes the city center. I don't know. This is where Yumble began his video, and just, I do watch the series, so in an effort to not emulate and be influenced and be too, similar to kind of how Yumble is approaching this, I think I'm just going to start up here at this intersection instead, just to be a little bit different and not feel like I'm just straight copying what he's doing in this video, because I think his playthrough is pretty cool, and I intend on watching it even as I keep playing this game. So as you can see, that road goes to the edge of the map on the north side here, and this is the ring road connecting through, so there is no traffic currently coming in this way across this bridge and into nice little at-grade rail crossing right there. I love that. No traffic coming into this intersection here, and no traffic coming in from either of these directions. So let's take a quick look at how this connects. So this connects via a roundabout up on that side, little edge connection right there too, exterior connection, and then as you go this direction, it comes across this bridge this way, and there's a sort of roundabout / overpass little junction here. So obviously cars can exit the map that direction or go left or right. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and let's jump in. I kind of see this as like a main street type setup. We'll go ahead. I don't really need to use any 1-unit roads off the bat here. So let's. And by the way, I know a lot of YouTubers doing this, like City Skylines content. It's very planned out. It's very detailed. I just enjoy building the cities. I'm playing the game. I have a channel up. It's been pretty much all Rome Total War or other Total War content. And I've decided, you know what, I'm just, I play this game enough myself, I may as well make a video with me playing it. So it's unplanned, I'm figuring this out as I go, just like with the rest of you watching, and let's go ahead and jump in. So we could have like a little I'm kind of seeing maybe we have a passenger rail station here at one point that connects into the town, walking distance to Main Street. You can get some nice waterfront here. Not really the best of like a beach setup, and maybe I can smooth and lower some of this terrain to be kind of like a beach. But for the meantime, let's see, how do I want to start this out? I don't really want to make this a 4 lane interchange. So I think what we're going to go ahead and we're going to do is we are going to just kind of create a small grid, get some population in the town, and this main street, will be mainly a commercial setup. So let's go ahead and let's do that. It would make sense, if this is just going to be a small little regional train station, to have that set up with some residential around it. Maybe a little bit of commercial right next to the station could make sense. All right. So I think I'm just going to go into freeform road tool. I'm going to try to make this not completely gridded, if I can help it. And we'll go ahead and we will start this off. So this can be kind of like what do I want to do? I think I'm going to want sort of like a road that's almost, I'm going to turn off road guidelines there. A road that's almost running parallel to Main Street. Give it a little bit of curvature, a little bit of character. And this road can kind of follow the path of Main Street this way. And the main reason thinking is that, you would have probably a setup where Main Street and I'm thinking of like a small town USA, would not really have a lot of it's not like going to be a grid with a lot of connections coming off it, right? You're going to have a couple more major streets that are kind of popping off Main Street, and the rest should be generally connecting just to more of the back roads. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make another at-grade crossing here for the trains, and we can continue this sort of neighborhood back this way. You know what? I'm going to make that go a little bit closer to the water. Just slightly. Yeah, just so that you can kind of get that, waterfront property feeling along the river here, and we will continue that, go like that. And that will probably continue that way in the future, but I don't want to stray too far from where I'm making this town here and where I'm planning on this. So let's go ahead and we'll just make a 90-degree intersection coming off this way. Do that, and let's get a piece of road that goes out straight from here, and then we'll use freeform road tool and connect those up like that. Okay, so I kind of see this will be the initial building zone here. Sort of, it does go around the train tracks a little bit, but I actually don't mind that. It kind of reminds me of growing up in the U.S. and I grew up in a major city, but it's time I've spent not in a major city, and you hear the trains, you can hear the water, it's kind of just part of it. So obviously these roads are not really set up for road hierarchy right now, but we're going to go ahead and we'll go and build some residential streets here, and I think we probably will have a road that goes along the rail tracks, so we won't have zoning on the side of the rails themselves, but we have houses on the other side. So we'll kind of keep that through, and I don't want to connect right where that at-grade crossing is. So let's actually say this road kind of bends in this way, and we'll get a nice connection just like that. Yeah, it looks a little funky, but it could work. This could be where the station is, right here. If we could kind of fit it along this road, maybe there's a little bit of a little commercial section right there as well. And and so we'll continue and we'll build sort of a, what's the right word? Not it's definitely not a grid, but it's sort of a loose grid, right? Turn off node snapping there. Sort of a loose grid where it's set up like a grid in a certain respect, but it's not. It doesn't perfectly follow a grid pattern. And do that, and then maybe we'll give a little road that comes off this way and kind of curves in like so. Just trying to think of the best way to fill the space. And then we can have one more that's kind of a very loopy road like that. Okay. It's just kind of an interesting way to fill in the residential there, so it's not perfectly centered and, perfectly gridded. And then this area behind Main Street, I think I'm going to put some parking in here at some point, but it would make sense that there are at least some houses. So why don't we, this road right here feels like more of a major artery. So why don't we take that, and we will kind of continue it on to there, and then what we'll do is we'll put a walking path there, so pedestrians can make that walk, but cars will have to go through one of the more major two intersections, and then we can build off of this road in both directions here. And that can be kind of, it's sort of tough to make a cul-de-sac in this game. But this is what it would kind of be in real life, right? I'm not really sure I love the look of that. It feels like too long of a street to me. So I'm actually going to connect that in. And I'm going to connect this, autosave, there we go. I'm going to connect this guy in on a bit of a funky angle. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so little residential community here, and I say, let's go ahead and let's start zoning this in. So we will take definitely these central squares here, and we'll just get it all residential. And we'll take this side. Yep, okay, and I'm thinking definitely this whole stretch. I'm going to leave that unzoned for now, because I think I might end up putting some light, commercial businesses in there. But this whole section here, this should all be housing. All on there. This house can have a large lot. I think I'm going to not zone that. It's a little too close to the train station for me. There we go. And you know what? No, let's not save that. I think I'm going to save the space. Okay. So yeah, that'll be our just kind of starting community. Let's get some commercial put in here on the Main Street stretch. We'll just start it currently on this side of Main Street, and we'll zone in as we need more. And then we will need some industrial before I continue on the simulation. Let's kind of decide on what we want to do for an industrial zone. I think we are going. I think we're going to want to keep it separate, but, it can't be too far away. Maybe for the time being, this, what could be a nice connection here? Maybe this road gets upgraded in the future and continues straight and connects over here via a bridge, and you end up with a little bit of an industrial zone on this side, but for the time being, that would require cars driving all the way around. There's actually no intersection here. There's no interchange. I could make one, but that would be a bit far. I think maybe for now we just have our industrial section sort of just pop off this sort of we'll take a little section here on Main Street and we'll pop out about 20 units, and I think what we're going to do here is just keep this a bit more of a grid. I'm going to do a nice little 12 by 12 grid here. Zone it up. We'll do the same thing again that way, and this will just kind of be our, necessary industrial. We'll zone the interiors in here, and then we need power, obviously. So, that just doesn't fit. That'd be kind of nice to have, I think, the power station right along the tracks there. So what we can actually do, let's change that up. We're going to take this road in one unit. So we'll make this top of the grid here come up, instead of 12 units, will come up 11. Then that should fit, there we go. That'll fit the power station in there. And we'll keep this one, let's have it come up, it's gonna get funky. We'll just do 11. That's fine. Perfect. Okay. Water is next. We'll go ahead and, small town, right? So we'll use the water tower. And I'm trying to think of where a nice spot for the water tower might be. Probably, let's say, we get a nice little water tower, like right there. Yeah, put it in. And I don't know if you guys know how the mod works, but you need to attach a little pipe to it, and then it will not require any extra pipes. Water drain pipe. I mean, we could take it all the way to the edge of the map, right, using 81 tiles and just put it down here. I kind of feel like that's a bit cheating for the time being. So instead, I'll kind of treat it as if I'm more restricted to this middle zone, and we'll go ahead and we'll drop our water drain pipe on this little island right here, and we'll have there'll be a little bit of a poop river, and we'll have to clean it up later on, Not really intentionally trying to cause problems, but, more so try to play a more balanced modded game, right? That's sort of the idea there. So let's go ahead and watch this small area of our town growing. Alright, so the area is growing in. It's growing in slow, but that makes sense. It's the early game. Let's see if we can't find our first residential cars that come in. So we've got a couple coming that way. We got two entrances to the residential, right? This way and this way. So how far away are these guys? It's a little tough to see exactly who the first one's going to be. You know what? We're just going to keep an eye on... Oh, wait, there's something. I think this might be our first one. Tyler Smith, an educated adult in the Daffodil residence. Love it. So we'll go ahead and let's watch his trip into our young city. Yeah, gonna go across the train tracks. Little bump on the way over there, and perfect. Here we go. So let's see where he lives. He's going in the gut here, a little more in the middle. Alright, over by the tracks. And, he's really looping around. There we go, and there is the family. The four of them. So you can see here we have one household. That's because I'm using the realistic population mod. So it's 2 children, 2 adults in that one house, not 3 or 4 households in that one house. Yeah, what do I need? Little hamlet, I need 380 population. There is definitely room to grow. We're just going to keep this on speed 3. You can see some industry is sparking up. We can actually connect those roads there. Give them an opportunity. That's how you can get to work that way as opposed to having to come along Main Street. Which actually, why don't we name it Main Street? It is goes from this roundabout all the way through to that roundabout. Perfect. Okay, that is going to be our Main Street. Done. Main Street. Love it. I don't usually name roads, but hey, sometimes it's kind of fun. Alright. Keep letting it grow in so we get to 380 and we unlock some more stuff. Alright, so we reached Little Hamlet. Finally. Yeah, I was hoping that'd be enough houses to actually get us there. So yeah, we get taxes and loans, garbage, healthcare, education, and campus areas. Obviously, we don't need a campus area yet, but it will be good to get some elementary schools, medical clinics, all that kind of stuff in here. And yeah, you can see some of the stuff I have that's like from DLC, or not DLC, sorry, that I picked up on the workshop, like this elementary school and whatnot. That's more for like a denser city. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's jump in. The next milestone that we have to reach is 750. I don't think we really need the loan right off the bat. We'll just go ahead and we'll start with just your standard landfill site. Nothing, nothing too crazy. I don't think we need to. Yeah, that fits well there. I don't think we need to go for a recycling center off the bat. We could always do that later when we're, raking in a bit more cash, a little more financially stable. So we should start seeing some garbage trucks in use here any second now. It says it's operating normally, but No trucks have left yet. Do I have to check one of these? Oh, there we go. There we go. First garbage truck just pulled out. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I went to the left. There it is. I went to the left, somewhere right there. So it's, okay, so garbage facilities are going. I just think it's, with such a low population, you know, we're not producing a lot of garbage yet. And then, obviously, we definitely want a medical clinic. So, this doesn't need to be on the main road, I don't think. A lot of times in the cities in the past, I've always put my, you know, medical stuff, police, fire, etc. on the main road. I actually don't really think that's necessary. I think this can be positioned, why not just in here, just off of, yeah, we'll put it right there, just off of this connection here. And that makes everybody nice and happy. And there we go, nice looking building, the medical clinic right there. Okay. And finally, last but not least, we get to put in our elementary schools. This will serve this nice little neat community here. And I think, does the elementary and high school need to be right next to each other? Probably not. But I kind of view this zone right here, eventually when we move the industry, this could be like where the high school setup is for the area. As we expand the population in this direction and this direction, there could be a main high school here. So elementary doesn't have to be right across the street, but it also could be right across the street. And I actually think I will put in my elementary school right there, and then we'll have a little walking path connect to it. So, yeah, we got the Carl Heisenberg Schule. I'm not sure if I downloaded that from the workshop or not. I probably did. It doesn't look like the default one, but I don't actually see the default one in here. I'll have to take a look for that. And, yeah. Okay, so we do have some zoning that hasn't filled in yet, so we're not completely out of residential space. But I think we're going to need a little bit more to get to 700, and the next milestone is 750. So, to do that, and you got this nice, like, see, it's just nice and sleepy. Nice, sleepy suburb. Maybe one day this will be all demolished and gridded up into a city, but for the time being, we'll let these houses, like this one right here, keep upgrading as, you know, they get educated and property values are higher and all that jazz. So, do I have the property value yet? No, I don't have that up yet. Oh, what's my traffic? 83%. I'm surprised it's not higher. I guess this roundabout maybe isn't quite sufficient. But I don't really see any other major red spots. This stretch here is not perfectly green, but I mean, it's flowing. There's no problem there. Not too worried about traffic yet. So I say we continue here and we fill in this side of the neighborhood. And you know what? I'm gonna just take the loan, just to have the money and not have to worry about it. Okay, so we will make another connection here off the main road, I'd say. Probably, let's say it's gonna cut through somewhere around here, and then we'll have it kind of just nice little lazy curve to the far side. And then this can be now, these two roads can be what we build essentially this residential section off of. So we'll have a nice little mirroring road going on here. Maybe, I don't want another at-grade crossing. I don't think we need another crossing right now, but maybe we eventually can do some work here and connect these halves of the neighborhoods with, you know, pedestrian bridge, or we can get a little bit of a sunken rail going here with a retaining wall and put a little bridge over the top. We'll make that work. We'll figure something out there. And can we get a nice little cute turn here? I think we can. Yeah. It's a head. No, I don't like how that looks. Never mind. That's going out. Alright, we're going to redo that road. I didn't like that at all. So actually, I'm going to make this first. This sort of, again, we're going to kind of copy this side. Stretch that goes along there, and then we have our, okay. Then we have our bend coming up this way, and that road can just now continue straight through like so. Yeah, I like the way that looks a lot. And I think we'll actually do this. We'll have this do a little bit of an S-curve into there. Nope. Just kidding. Don't like that either. Being a little bit going to do that same sort of S-curve setup, but just on a slightly, more gradual pace. There we go. That I can get behind. That one I like. And we will then take a similar setup here, and we'll have a sort of mirroring road that follows your main road and comes through with a 4-way intersection and connects into that side. So now we got this kind of main bypass roads out here and more of an interior residential this way. And then we can fill this in. So we'll fill this in again with sort of a loose... I don't know why the camera took a nice little jerk away from me there. But we'll do this a nice little kind of loose, not a grid, but it does follow some sort of generalized grid pattern. And then I think here we can have a little... Yeah, that'll be perfect. And that can continue on that way in the future. Sort of seems a little abrupt. That's okay. We'll leave it with that. And then this side... No, you know what? I'm not going to leave it with that. That feels like it should cut through to me. Like that, and that can be an artery. That then comes... Oh, you know what? I know how I'm going to set this up. Whoops. This is where the bridge connection is going to be eventually. So let's turn on road guidelines here. Okay, that would be kind of how the bridge connects in there in the future. So what we'll do is we'll have that turn in that way, and that can be like, this will be the main kind of artery road through the center here, and there'll be a connection there eventually. Hey everyone, sorry about the jump and all that. I actually, the computer I'm recording on ran out of memory, and so my recording cut off unexpectedly, but I cleared up some space and just have to do some, file management on it. There's a lot of old stuff on here that just doesn't need to be, and it's taking up a lot of space, and so anyway, you don't need to worry about that. I'll take care of it. But point being, we can continue this video. So we were just kind of finishing up this, again, loose grid type setup. I think how I want to finish this off here is I want to take a little bit of a... I don't know if I want... Do I want another intersection here? Yeah, I kind of like that. Take a loose bend through there, and this road can be really meandering. And we'll take it like that. Why is there no zoning squares off this guy? There we go. Not really sure why that happens. But here is essentially our new neighborhood. So we can now go ahead and we can zone this in. And hopefully this will take us... This should. It's got a lot of space. As I say, this should take us up to the population threshold that we need to reach for the next milestone and to unlock the next, set of service buildings and all that jazz. So let's go ahead and we're going to really zone this in. I actually, before I let this play, I actually think I'm going to, I'm going to put in another elementary school down here. I think that's necessary. And then, we'll also let the zone in here, the zoning come in along the water as well. So there you go. I don't think I missed any squares. I'm looking around. I don't see anything I missed. We can also, we're just going to really hit all this while we can. Zone that in, like so. And we'll take a little bit of commercial, and I think we can sprinkle in some commercial on this street. Right there, and we'll add a little bit on to the other side as well. So we'll add a little bit of a commercial stretch right there. And then let's go ahead and let's add a elementary school in for them. Probably on this central artery. Seems like a good spot, and we'll put it right there. Nice and centered. Can kind of, now we got two serving the different communities. They have space. How much is it? 300 per? Yeah, 300 students per. So seeing as we have 556 population, and I can't see the population stats yet, but I assume probably at least 100-something of that are kids from this small area, I think it's good to just be on the forefront with education. It's one of those things that in past cities I've built, I've really struggled with, like not staying on the front foot with it. And then what ends up happening is that I'm playing catch-up later on, trying to get my populace more educated. I don't think we need another medical center. That should be plenty. Garbage and industry should be alright. So let's go ahead. We will kind of just sit back. I'm trying to think of a good angle here. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll sit back and watch this area go ahead and zone in. So let's go ahead and bump it up to speed 3 and enjoy. Okay, I've decided that seeing as the far side of this is coming in first, we are going to switch up the angle, and we're going to watch from this side now with our lovely water tower framing this left side. So we'll go ahead and go back to speed 3 and sit back and enjoy. Alright, so it's taken a bit longer to zone in the residential than I thought it would. I thought there would be much more of a uptick in residential all at once, but there was not. That's okay. You can see we got our main street sort of forming in here as shops, which is nice. But it didn't quite come in as quick as I was hoping. Not as good for the cinematic. So I'm actually going to take this opportunity to speak about one mod that I'm using, Ploppable Rico. So Ploppable Rico lets me basically place residential, industrial, commercial, and office zone buildings by hand. So I can download from the workshop. I can pick buildings that I want to be a residential building and not a tourist attraction or a park or something, and I can place them manually into the space. So as you can see, I have some lined up here, like some mixed-use buildings, which if you watch the Yumble videos, you'll see that's obviously not going to fit in to this area right now. But what I do have is I have like a little Bank of America, which I think could be kind of fun to include here on Main Street, right? Like a little. I don't have enough money. I need 5,000. I'm almost there. Come on. Should be about to hit 5,000. Should have thought about that beforehand. All right, there we go. So I'm at 5,000. We'll put in, Ploppable Rico. Boom. Plop in the Commercial Bank of America. Just, I don't know, just to give a little flavor, break up the monotony of the base game buildings sometimes. And you can see this will employ 3 uneducated, 3 educated, and 1 well-educated worker. And I could go in and I could change that if I wanted. I could do custom settings, override the population and the jobs for the building, but I don't feel the need to do that. I think 7 jobs for the Bank of America sound about right. So we'll go ahead and let that keep going. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about that for a second. So you can see I have like big HEB grocery store. I'm not from Texas, but I have some family in Texas, and HEB's pretty big there. I don't know. I loved it when I went to visit. Just thought it would be fun to be able to include that. And there we go. Worthy Village. Perfect. 750 population. The new area doesn't matter, but we get to we unlock districts. We unlock some basic policies. We get the second loan, which is good. Not to mention we get a nice chunk of money just for the hitting this itself. District specializations. Oh my god, specializations, service policies, and we get fire, police, some unique buildings. We can do forestry and agriculture, and we get firehouse, police station. Oh, that's a little Ghostbusters police firehouse. I just brought it in from the workshop, but that was kind of cool. And we get we get the Winter Market unique building, as well as the Chirpex launch site, which doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have either one of those. Maybe I don't have them unlocked yet. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we will not be worrying about those for the time being. But you can see the reason I want to do this is I actually have this interesting little mixed-use commercial building. It's pretty small. But it's commercial on the ground floor and residential enough for 9 households on the top. You can see, I'm actually going to place it in. So I'm thinking this could be maybe put on Main Street, a little mixed use. Like some people live off Main Street. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here because we're going to put the pathway there. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and put the commercial ground floor there. So this, has 10 workers. You can see it's kind of got a computer, cell phone, a dental shop. Makes sense, 10 workers. And then on the second floor will be our mixed-use residential. So I just have to toggle Anarchy on, put the mixed-use residential on top, and now we have this nice little building. I don't think it stands out too much, you know. Yeah, it doesn't. It's 3 stories. It's pretty in line with the rest of Main Street right now. And the residential at top is space for 9 households. So I see. I don't know. I guess I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and maybe there's some on the backside. Maybe there's one down there. 7. Anyway, it has space for 9 households, which I think works. And basically, these people, so they can like live and work in the same spot. Like they could live upstairs, work downstairs. Just a way to introduce some, you know, additional. I like the mixed-use stuff a lot, so just trying to introduce some of that into the city. And I'm going to search the workshop for more nice little assets like this. Again, like these will all be linked in a collection with the video, so you'll see that there. But I wish there was a little more character on the side, but that's okay. We can deal with that later. So that's just kind of a lower tier version of that. I don't really have much in the if I scroll through the menus, I don't have much in the Rico settings. I got this. It's a little tough to see at night. I'm just gonna keep it at daytime. We're gonna get power issues and stuff. Like, you know, this is just, you got a big house. It's just should be just one household. Yeah, see, one household. I can put that house in wherever I want if I like the design of that house as opposed to the basic ones. I think power's low. Probably, yeah. I think we can afford to bump all this stuff back up to 100%. I don't really see the need to up roads, frankly. So I'm going to leave roads down where they are, but we'll go ahead and we'll up water and power just to keep our availability above board for quite a while. And then this, yeah, you can see some commercial filling in over here where I zoned that commercial space in. And you know what? Just for fun, why don't we take this this nice detached, big, nice home, and let's start to kind of fill in this side. We'll just kind of place it, boom. There you go. That's where that home's in there. Stands out for now, but hopefully that becomes a nice, thriving residential neighborhood in the future. So, alright, what do we got? We also unlocked police and fire. So, police and fire are important. I'm going to definitely keep the firehouse more near to the industrial if I can. So, if this is where I'm viewing the high school going in, maybe I get a little like city services zone here. So let's do this. Let's how wide does the firehouse? How many tiles does it take? It looks like it takes up 6 units. So what we're going to go ahead and we're going to do here, and I think I'm going to toggle back on road guidelines, is we're going to go 6 units out that way. And then how much space do we have there? 12. Okay, so we're going to do a nice little 6x6 curve. Just like that. And then we can continue. Alright, it's 7 units in, but that's fine. It looks symmetrical enough. I think that's not a perfect 90 degrees. It curves slightly coming off of that, which is why it's symmetrical enough. I'm not going to worry about that. And then this street, we're going to go into our TMPE, and we are going to do some vehicle restrictions. I believe, yeah. So what we can do is we can take this and we can say no private cars allowed on the street, and no like buses allowed on the street. But city services, like, and there's ambulance. I think that includes fire and stuff and everything else. Garbage, obviously. I don't want trucks either. So basically, I just want this to be like a city services only street. And then what we can do is we can take our firehouse. Which side do I like it on more? No, that doesn't look right. We're going to put the firehouse on that street. So basically, the firehouse should be able to have, and what we're going to do is, yeah, we'll have them just be able to just race out and go wherever they need to go. And we'll take our police. We don't have the money. Take a second loan. That's fine. Alright, second loan, we'll take our police, and we'll put them in the same spot. What is this? Police headquarters. Oh, it's like my New York City police headquarters. I downloaded that from the workshop, too. Alright, we got our basic police station as well, and for the time being, let's just put that across from the fire. So there's our little city services setup. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that right now. Yeah, that should be good. So this will, you saw a bunch of cars start taking that as a shortcut a second ago when I first put it in, and you can see now no cars are taking it. So that's because of the restrictions I put on. And I think that works pretty well. So that takes care of services for the time being, and I bet you that's going to spike property value around them over here, especially because you got 3 city services all pretty close to each other. But frankly, for the size of the city, for the time being, this is not super urgent. Maybe we'll put a more police headquarters along the main road once we unlock the larger stations. And did we unlock secondary school? We haven't unlocked it yet. No, this starts unlocked because it's a Steam, workshop downloaded item, but if it hasn't been unlocked from the game yet, we don't need to do that. And then, okay, we do actually have the winter market available, but I don't think we're at a stage in this town to start including, major unique buildings. We could put the city arch. I kind of like that. It just gives a little, what does it give? A little bit of an entertainment boost just right around it. We kind of put that like right here at the entrance to Main Street. Or that way. Like kind of a welcome to the neighborhood, right? Alright, let's do that. Gives a little boost. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah. Why not? We'll move it or change it later if we want to, but it's good for the time being, right? And then I'm just trying. This is, I don't have parks yet, so this is actually pretty useful. I spent $30,000. It's a lot of entertainment. 100 for the bird and bee haven. It's quite large. How does it look? Let me see if I can see what it looks like. Would it fit into this area? Probably not for the time being. So we're gonna hold off on that. What do we need for the next threshold? Probably 1,200. 1,200, yeah. Okay, so I think we could get to 1,200 on this. Yeah, and then that'll unlock parks and all that jazz, which I kind of see a couple opportunities here for some city parks. I'm thinking maybe creating a park around here, maybe behind the medical center, or taking just one of these blocks and blocking it off and making a nice park. We'll come up with some ideas. That's just one thing at a time, right? We get there when we get there. For the time being, I just need to basically let population keep moving in. I mean, it's a little bit boring in the beginning. I don't think boring is the right word, but it's just slow to an extent in the early game. But while our population is coming in, we can take a look at some of the other info views we got. So natural resources. So yeah, as you can see, all of that, hedgerow area is mostly farmland, which makes sense. So we'll probably have a nice sprawling farming industry going through one of these areas. And I mean, we could put other industries in too. Let me go back to that map mode. Yeah, see, I don't really see the need to use the oil or ore squares that are mixed in here, because if we want to do an ore industry, I mean, we could have it over here. Like I was talking before, maybe this could be a big industrial area, and seen as, right up on the mountains here, you get a nice ore deposits. Maybe we could do that there. Forestry, I don't really see anything too obvious. It would be kind of around this lake, but I think I'm going to use that more so as a nice residential area. And then oil, if we wanted to do oil down the road. Got a little autosave happening real quick. Oh, not an autosave. We actually hit Tiny Town. Perfect. Okay, so we were just talking about industry areas, but we also got park areas, landscaping, more policy. Oh, I forgot to do districts. I'll do districts after this. Okay. New services, industry areas. Nice. Parks and plazas. A bunch of new policies. A bunch of new roads. As you can see, I got some Steam Workshop roads mixed in here, like invisible pedestrian paths. I think those are really nice, so you can have people walking across grass and everything. I got some canals, fences, lots of buildings, especially in the park sphere. That's perfect, as well as secondary schools. And my Steam Workshop downloaded Depressing Secondary School, which is perfect for the dense area of the center city. So, yeah, we will first, before we do anything else, let's, because I forgot to do it, let's go ahead and let's district this area. So what we'll do is I think we're going to have... Part of me's tempted to make this one district, But I do think that you're going to end up with a different personality south of the railroad as well as north of the railroad. So what we're going to go ahead and we're going to do is go ahead and district this in up to the railroad. Come across. And down around. Yeah, we'll just do this really quickly. And come that way. See, that's what I did. That's what I wanted to avoid. Definitely getting. Oh, okay. Autosave. There we go. As Biffo would say, grab a cup of tea. Oh, come on. Oh my god. Alright, this is embarrassing. I might cut this from the video, but if I don't, you get to see me struggling. I am not perfect at this game, that is for sure. I am just trying to make nice, neat districts because I get kind of OCD about it, and if you don't do them nice and neat from the get-go, well, you're never gonna have them be nice and neat down the road. So there we go. So we'll fill that in, and I will leave this name the default name for right now, and if I actually get viewers on this video and you guys comment, well, I'll leave it up to you what you want these two neighborhoods to be named. Otherwise, in the next episode, I will just I'll just go ahead and name them myself. And then we have the second neighborhood up here, second district. And you know what? I don't know why I'm using the small one. It doesn't seem necessary. Just do that. I think down the line, I'll have to do a little bit of work with just keeping the districts looking neat. But for the time being, I mean, there really is no reason that I can't just use the big brush for most of it. And then, you know, we'll skip into the small brush and we'll just do a little, there we go, just get the dividing line. Ideally, if I can get it to just kind of work for me here, it should come right along the railroad. Yeah, you know what, that's good enough. That's good enough. No need to spend more time on that. And boom, we'll fill that in. And so we have these two neighborhoods that need names. So if you have ideas and you're watching this video and you want to recommend a name to me, well, I am all ears. So just let me know. Okay. And do you want to add some policies onto these guys right off the bat? I actually haven't looked through these policies in a while. Is Parks and Recreation good? Moderately. I like that. Let's increase the land value around parks. Don't need to do smoke detector, pet ban. No, let's keep the happiness up. What's schools out? Oh, that's the one where, yeah, they prefer working. That's it. Prefer parks. I don't really care about their visitors. I just want the land value. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add Parks and Recreation onto both of these neighborhoods, just like that. You can see the little icon with the tree signifying that. And then we'll add in some parks. And this should... Oh, you know what? We got a high commercial demand. So let's go ahead and let's zone in the other side of Main Street right here. Just like that. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and let's look at some parks. I also noticed, actually, that I have, and if it'll load, there we go. I did unlock paths, right. So we can also take, and finally, connect up some of these areas for walkability. Every time I hit that landscaping tools option, it lags. I'm telling you, it's like clockwork. Connects that up there so people can walk to the school instead of having to go all the way around the block. Well, yeah, we'll add in a connection on this side too. So these kind of dead-end streets, I want them to be walkable. That's the plan. And then do I need any connections up here anywhere? I think this probably looks good. Yeah, I think that's probably good for the time being. And then I will work on this railroad probably in the next episode. But yeah, that's good enough for walkability for now. Let's add in some parks. So I do have all these additional parks that I put in, that I've downloaded from the workshop. Well, here's some parking lots, baseball fields, fun stuff. And I will keep doing more because sometimes I get bored of these, just basic large playground and whatnot. I think I got tennis court. You know what? Tennis court could be kind of nice just to put one in. Does provide a lot of entertainment. 125 entertainment for one tennis court. It is kind of high. Not gonna lie. A dog park. That's perfect. It's the suburbs. People are gonna want somewhere to take a dog. So right here, I see a nice open stretch. So yeah, dog park right there, and boom, you got some happiness. And do I have land value? I do have land value. Map mode, which I love watching the change. So here is what the land value looks like currently. And what we're going to go ahead and we're going to do is let's add a park over here and see the land value change. So we can take... Oh, and I like these a lot too, like this skinny cut-through park, because not only is it a park that provides entertainment, but it also actually works as a pedestrian path, cutting through an area. So, like, I could put it here, and this will not only be a park, but it'll also be a cut-through for pedestrians. So, like, watch. So, see, I put that, and see how it connects? It's like putting a path and a park combined, which is super cool. I think, at least. I think it's very cool. So now we can watch the land value shift. Boom. See that? Land value on this side rose. And what you should start seeing now is residential coming in over here where it hadn't really been previously. Right away already. Lafayette residence building in right next to it. Nice little small residential. That's nice. Okay. And so we'll kind of keep exploring. You know, I love those cut-through parks. I think those are cool. I used to have more of them. I may have... I did a little bit of a purge for RAM purposes not that long ago of my inventory. Not my inventory, my subscriptions or whatever you call it on Steam Workshop. And I think I probably need to add some back in. So what about adding like a little carousel over by Main Street? That seems like that could kind of make sense, right? Like there's Main Street, you know, you want to come in for a carousel ride off Main Street, that could be kind of nice. So we're going to go ahead and add that in right there. Yeah, a nice little center feature on Main Street, right? Surrounded by the commercial properties. And also combines nicely with this path that comes through. And actually, see that little sliver? Let's move it. And let's actually move it, just nudge it like that. And now it's flush. And there's no grass. And now it looks like it's almost kind of like a square. Oh, but I did lose my road connection for doing that. Boom. There's a nice middle ground. Right there. It has a road connection, which it requires, and it can sit without any gap. And actually, I see this little gap here, too. So why don't we go ahead and we take our mixed-use building here. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that. Let's get both of them. Okay, I am messing that up. No, didn't do it. Alright, we're going to do the little selection tool. There. Get both of those guys. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to check that out. And, yep, there we go. Shift that building together to the left, and boom. Now it looks like we've got a nice paved area, which also serves as a pedestrian connection. What is this, and why is it here? General store. That's not how the general store is supposed to look. We can delete out and rebuild something there. Alright, so yeah, see, that's pretty nice, I think. Little square with the carousel, and then we can also, I just love doing this, watch the land value in this area. Should take it, there we go. See how it darkens blue? It went more towards the high, from there to there. And boom, that area is definitely much higher land value now. What land value is important because it's going to affect the value and the tax revenue I get from these residential buildings. And as you can tell, the park side of this game is something I really enjoy. I do have a lot of them, and even these little benches, they're a little bit overpowered, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's a bench that provides 100 entertainment to a pretty large area. It's too much, I know that. But at the same time, you know what, sometimes to really, it's just, like, this provides 160 entertainment to a huge area, but it takes up so much more space. Like a bench. If I put a train station in here with a few benches around it, that could be pretty nice. Like, I might add in a bench here next to, let's do this one, next to the, let's rotate it, right next to the carousel, right there. Yeah, just sort of a little city bench kind of thing in the grass, right? Take that, move it, and just kind of nudge it to there. I think that looks like a little nice setup. And then you can see, I forgot to pause it, but land value in this area is definitely, you can see, I think now it's on slightly the green side of blue. So it's rising. And yeah, I love the parks side of this game, and I always am looking for cool assets. If you guys have any ideas, I will be including a lot of parks in our high school complex when I put it in over here. And I'm looking forward to expanding the city. So we went through a couple milestones today. I think that's pretty successful. We got all the way up to 1,500 population and reached Tiny Town. So next time we play, we'll be hitting Boomtown and Busy Town and so on and so forth. And we'll get public transport in. We'll add into Main Street. We'll add a train station. Maybe get the little bit of a sunken track going here to get a little bridge connection between our two neighborhoods, which hopefully you all will let me know what you want them to be named. And I'm just really excited to be playing this game and have it up on my channel. I think it's, I love Rome Total War. I will not stop playing Rome Total War. Trust me, it's like my favorite game of all time. But I do play other games, and I think it'll be fun to kind of include them onto the channel. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want these neighborhoods named if you watch. And I look forward to seeing everybody in episode 2. Thank you all very much, and have a good one.